Okay, so my first wholesale deal made me $35,000. So what I'm gonna do in today's video is I'm gonna tell you exactly what I would do if I needed to get my first wholesale deal in the next 30 days. What's up guys, it's Johnny and I've been wholesaling for about 2 years, and when I first started, man, it was really stinking tough. I did all kinds of crazy stuff. I was door knocking and even posted notes on cars and all kinds of weird crap people were telling me to do. But fast forward to today, I actually run an acquisitions team for one of the largest flippers in the entire country, and we do between 10 and 20 wholesale deals every single month. And I want to let you in on some behind the scenes stuff, some secrets, so you can have some success too. So about a week ago, my neighbor came to me and said, "Hey Johnny, I want to get started in real estate. I want to get started in wholesaling. What do I do? How do I get involved?" And the advice I'm going to give to you today is exactly what I gave to him. This is the same advice that I've given to like literally thousands of other new beginners who are wanting to get into this space. And this is the same advice that I would give to my kid. If my daughter was like, "Dad, how do I get started in real estate?" This is exactly what I would tell her to do. This is literally like the recipe, the key to success. So if you're new here on this channel, we talk about wholesaling, real estate investing, and financial modeling. If you're wanting to get started in real estate investing, this is a great place for you to learn how to do that. So thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So the first thing I want to do is I want to give you an overview of the strategy that you're going to be using. And this is, in my opinion, hands down the easiest way to fast track you to getting your first deal. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the number one mistake that I see so many wholesalers make that literally ruin their chance of getting any deal at all. And as I go through this, make sure if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. I do my best to answer every single one of them. Don't be afraid to ask questions. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go on Zillow and you're going to want to find 3 properties in your backyard. We're going to start there for now. And here's what you're looking for. You're looking for properties that are like between a 4 and a 6 out of 10, okay? Anything that looks better than a 6 out of 10 is probably not going to be discounted heavy enough for it to really make sense. Anything below a 4 out of 10 probably needs way too much rehab for you to really kind of start in this space. So you want to find something that's between a 4 and 6 out of 10 that needs some rehab. And you want to look for properties that are 3-bedroom, 2-bath if you can find them. And here's a pro tip. If you see a property that has no drywall, it's just got studs, run. If it's got fire damage, run. You want nothing to do with these. Eventually, you may work into those things, but today it's just going to be a lot of work. It's going to be very difficult for you to comp and come up with a rehab cost for these properties as a beginner. Now, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're writing the property address down. You want to write down the agent's name and phone number and email address if it's listed there on Zillow. You want to make that list because this is where you're going to start. You're going to be working off of this. If you want more instruction on how you can find properties on Zillow, it costs nothing. There's a link in the description down below. I have a whole nother video that goes over all of that, kind of in detail, the sorting, the filters, and all that fun stuff to help you find more success. So the next thing you're going to need is a script for on-market properties. If you don't have one, there's a link in the description. You can use my script. It's super easy. But the point is that you are going to need to know what to ask and how to ask it. You're also going to need to know the strategy on how you communicate with these agents around these properties so you can get some potential off-market deals. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Now, once you have those scripts, you're going to want to make sure you practice them, okay? Practice them before you're on a call with an agent. Go through them, just get the words out of your mouth, get comfortable with asking the questions. And here's kind of a little pointer, okay? When you're going through any type of script with anybody, you never want to be reading off the script. You want to understand the concept of what you're asking the agent or the person on the other end, okay? Understand that you're going to be asking the condition of the bathrooms and the flooring and of the roof and the HVAC. Just know that. And the idea is to carry a conversation while hitting all these bullet points. You never want to read off a script while you're on a call. It's going to sound robotic. People don't like it. They know you're reading off a script. It's just not authentic. And what you're really trying to do on any call is to create an authentic relationship. So once you've practiced the scripting and you feel comfortable, what you want to do is go back to your list of agents and you want to start sending texts, okay? You want to text them before you call them, and here's why. Because when my phone rings and I don't know the number, I have no idea who that is, and I'm probably not going to answer it. The same goes for agents. A lot of times they don't answer their calls anyways. But if you preface the call with a text and say, "Hey, this is so-and-so. I'm interested in your property over on X, Y, and Z Street. Do you have a quick second to chat?" Then you're more likely to either get a call back, they'll pick up your phone, or they'll call you back, or maybe they'll respond and say, "I'm available at this time." This is a much better way to do it. Now, here's what you need to know. A lot of agents won't even respond to those texts. You'll never see a response ever. So you want to continue to follow up. For whatever reason, real estate agents must make too much money, and so they just don't want to respond about texts for properties they need to sell. I don't know. I've never been able to figure this out in my entire life, why they don't respond a lot of the times, but it's just the way it goes, okay? So be ready for that, okay? And your goal for day one is to text all 3 of those people and get every single one of them on the call and go through the scripting with them. Okay, so this is where a lot of new investors and wholesalers, they get it wrong. This is where they screw up, they kill the deal, and or they can't progress past this point. They say, Johnny, once I get on the call, I don't really know how to make it move. How do I give them an offer? How do I negotiate the numbers? And this is the key. On this first call, you're actually not negotiating anything. You're not talking about numbers. You're not doing any of that stuff. And the reason is because you don't have enough information. And so what you're doing on this initial call is you're just trying to gather the information. Tell me about the bathrooms. Tell me about the roof. Tell me about the HVAC. We want to gather that information, and then we want to ask the agent. I always ask them, what do you think it's going to cost to rehab this property? Don't worry, I'm going to do my due diligence, but I'm just curious what you think that looks like. And then they can talk and they can tell you. Fantastic. Once I do all of those things and I spend all that money, what do you think I can get for this property on the market? What does that look like? I do all those things you suggested, and now how much can I sell it for? And what I've done is I've created the gap. I've created the gap between what the agent has told me about the rehab budget and then what it could sell for. And so now I have their numbers, and technically I can use their numbers against them. Well, you told me it was going to take $100,000 to rehab it, and you told me I could sell for this much money, and you should know it's going to take me 6 months to do this, and then I got to pay you an agent fee. So now I can work backwards from the number. I'm gathering all the information, okay? So I don't go over that in the first call, but my point is that I'm getting that information, I'm asking those questions. Okay, and then once I have that information, what I'm going to ask before I get off the call is I'm going to very, very lightly position creative finance or maybe seller finance, right? So I'll ask the agents, Mr. or Mrs. Agent, if I were to come in at full asking price, do you think your seller would be open to any type of creative finance terms? Maybe some sort of seller finance or whatever. Now, they might say no, or what is that, or whatever. If they say, what is that? You just say, oh, it's a creative way to get us to their number. I will send you an email. You're not going to have that conversation on this call because it just ruins the entire momentum of it, okay? If they say no, you just say, okay, fantastic. I might include some sort of seller finance in there just so your client can see it, even if they say no. And then you're going to jump off that call and you're going to do all your underwriting. You're going to find comparable properties, you're going to run some numbers, and you're going to put together some different options for the seller. Usually I will do one cash offer and then one creative offer. And I usually send it in one LOI, a PDF, and then in the body of the email, I will kind of recap the conversation. Mr. Seller, I know you told me X, Y, and Z, or Mr. Agent, you told me X, Y, and Z. Here is my letter of intent. This is how I got to these numbers. You told me the rehab was this. You told me this is what I could sell it for. In order for this property to work for me, this is where I would need to be. So you want to make sure that you're following up on this email that you send relentlessly. So you're going to send the email, you're going to follow up with a text, a phone call, and then you're going to want to continue to follow up with them. But here's the thing. Now you have the agent's information, their phone number, and what you want to do is connect with them maybe once every 2 weeks. Hey, Mr. Agent, do you have any off-market properties that you currently are selling or somebody in the office is listing that we can write an offer on today? You want to use this person as a referral partner, right? And you may even want to go over that with them on the phone when you're talking to them about the initial property and say, hey, do you have any off-market properties that I can take a look at right now? Okay, my point is that the listing agent is going to become a referral partner for you. And if you don't follow up with them or maintain, connection or contact with them and let them know, hey, I'm a cash buyer. If you're not out in front of them all the time, probably not going to get referrals. It's funny though, if you do ask the question, they will send you off-market fixtures and you will get deals from this. I have a video on my channel, I'll put it in the description too, where I'm going through this entire thing. I'm talking to a listing agent, I'm asking them about a property that's on market, and on the call I ask them if they have any off-market flips that I can take a look at. And on the call, she texts me an off-market property. Didn't end up buying it, the numbers didn't work out. But my point is, you will get more leads this way, so make sure you're doing it. Now let's say the seller or the agent accepts your offer, then what? this is what I would recommend to any new wholesalers. This is exactly what I did when I started. Partner with somebody who knows what they're doing. Get the property under contract, have somebody do that with you, JV with them. You're going to take less comp. You are going to get less comp on your first deal, but you need somebody who's like been through it and knows what to put on the contracts and how to dispo it and open escrow and all those fun things. Like, partner with somebody, take a little bit smaller of a rip on the deal. You're going to make a little bit less, but at least it's something, and you need to have somebody who knows what they're doing walk you through all that stuff. And then you'll know when the time is right for you to not bring in those JV partners. You'll know when you feel comfortable, like, hey, I think I can do this by myself. So that's it. That's literally how I would tell anybody to get their first deal. I think it's actually way easier than a lot of people make it seem. So I hope you found value in this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for stopping by. God bless.